Welcome to the Natural Health Podcast, where we bring awareness of sustainable health in the business hustle space. The Natural Health Podcast is perfect for the high-performing, business-minded individuals who want to work with their biochemistry to achieve optimal health. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for What Would I Do? In today's episode of the Natural Health Podcast, we discuss this week's question. All questions are kept confidential. I read them and answer them as if it was me, hence why it's called What Would I Do? The information provided is not to be taken as advice and is solely for information purposes only. I am not here to cure, treat, or provide medical advice. I'm here to educate and inform you so you're able to take steps towards optimal health. Please discuss any lifestyle changes or medical issues with your healthcare professional. Let's get into today's question, which is an absolutely interesting one. And I've got this question before from friends, family, and so forth. The question is, I haven't been sleeping well. I went to my doctor and she prescribed me with melatonin. Before taking it, I wanted to know your thoughts on taking melatonin for sleep. What are your thoughts on this? I'm unable to get a good night's sleep. I wake up every 3 to 4 hours and it is very broken. I just want to sleep better. What an absolutely great question. And I mean, all of us just want to sleep better. For whatever reason it is that we can't sleep, we want to move from that state of not being able to sleep to sleeping at an absolutely great level. So we wake up refreshed. So we wake up filled with energy. So we are able to do what we're here to do, if it's in our business or if it's in our everyday life. So sleep is vital for our existence, for anything that we do, right? But unfortunately, a lot of us actually have sleep issues, a lot of sleep issues. The issue may be that we can't get to sleep, we can't stay asleep, or we just wake up during the whole night. It might be one of those three issues or something else. And I have done an episode on sleep, so please go through the list of episodes that I've done and you will find episodes on sleep, right? Listen, binge watch on them because there's so much valuable information on there. And I won't be able to give you so much information in these 10 minutes as I do in those podcasts. Okay, let's get into and first look at, you have been prescribed melatonin, but what is melatonin and why would doctor prescribe you that, right? Well, melatonin in short is a hormone produced by the pineal gland in the brain and controls the body's night and day cycle. So as I have spoken so many times before, there's a coexistent role with cortisol and melatonin, right? When cortisol is high, melatonin is supposed to be low. When melatonin is high, cortisol is supposed to be low. However, this doesn't occur always. So what is supposed to happen in our body as if it was in a normal cycle, so-called, in our cycle which our body likes, is that when we wake up, our melatonin is the lowest, our cortisol is the highest, and then it goes like this. They cross meet and it comes here where cortisol is the lowest at night and melatonin is the highest at night. When that happens, we wake up in the morning and we go to sleep at night because that's how our body is supposed to function, right? So when it is dark, the body produces more melatonin to help a person fall asleep. When it is light, it produces less melatonin. So it has to also do with the light night cycle, right? So with us living in our 21st century, it is light time at night and at night time, and in the morning it's dark in many individuals. So this is where, I'm going to talk about it later, but the light, when you're exposed to light, it is key to do with your health, right? So like I mentioned, melatonin's key role is the body's circadian rhythm to manage that. And what is the circadian rhythm? Exactly what I spoke about earlier. What happens to the cortisol and the melatonin, right? But not only that, in addition to improving sleep, melatonin is also involved in managing immune function, blood pressure, and cortisol levels. Plus, it also acts as an antioxidant, with some research finding that it can significantly assist with many health conditions. The interesting thing is you were given melatonin for sleep. Well, one study actually looked at insomnia and showed that taking melatonin 2 hours before bed helped people fall asleep faster and enhance their overall sleep quality. So there is some research backing it up. Another also large analysis in 19 studies in children and adults with sleep disorders found that melatonin reduced the amount of time it took for someone to fall asleep, increased total sleep time, and improved sleep quality. Research also showed that melatonin is a safe, non-addictive for both short and long-term use for adults. This is the research, what it's saying in regards to melatonin. So for your doctor prescribing you melatonin, when you look at the research, there isn't such a huge issue. But we'll get into what my thoughts are in regards to you taking melatonin, not just you, but anyone. If I was going to take melatonin and if this is what happened to me. Right, so melatonin may interact with certain medications, including antidepressants, blood thinners, blood pressure medications, and so forth, but hopefully your doctor made you aware of that. And it can have some side effects such as nausea, headaches, dizziness, and sleepiness. I mean, sleepiness is, I don't know if that's a side effect because that's what you want to kind of achieve, right? Interesting, right? So what are my thoughts on melatonin? If I went to the doctor and the doctor went, okay, Mihaela, you can't sleep, here's some melatonin, right? Well, my thoughts are, if my melatonin levels are too low, it can cause sleep issues. It can also cause depression. It can also cause any mental illnesses. But too much melatonin can cause headaches, drowsiness, dizziness, and nausea, right? So the thing is the body natural melatonin levels tends to actually decrease as we age. So low levels of melatonin can also be caused by not having enough sleep, traveling across time zones, doing shift work, taking certain medications. Coffee, alcohol, nicotine can also lower melatonin levels. So there's some interesting things some questions that you can ask yourself, right? However, the best way to boost your melatonin levels naturally is by getting enough regular sleep, eating regular meals, avoiding coffee and nicotine, avoiding bright lights at night. That is one of the key things, right? Watching TV, using tablets, looking at a screen at nighttime interferes with melatonin production. So some of the questions that I would ask myself are, have I recently traveled from a time zone? Is that why I can't sleep? Or is it because I'm drinking too much coffee? Is that why I can't sleep? Or am I having too much nicotine? Is that why I can't sleep? Am I looking at the TV at night? Is that why I can't sleep? What are the reasons that I cannot sleep? The questions that I've got to ask myself. Do I have a sleep routine? That is a question. Do I have and wear pajamas? That's another question. Do I have a routine in place for sleep, such as meditation, breathing, lighting up a candle? Is there some type of routine that I have? Why can't I sleep? When did this start? My sleep issues. What occurred during that time? And why can't I sleep? What was happening throughout that time in my life, right? Am I stressed? Is my circadian rhythm on point? Remember that whole thing? Is that on point? Is my cortisol high in the morning and then low at night? Do I get little spikes? What is happening there? Am I eating too late, too close to going to sleep? Right? So these are some of the questions. There's so many questions that you can ask yourself. What would I do if I wasn't able to sleep and my doctor gave me melatonin? The first thing that I would do is I would answer those questions that I spoke about. I would ensure that my circadian rhythm is on point. What does that mean? That means that I'm awake in the morning and I'm asleep at night. It means that I put a rhythm in my life. It means that I'm filled with energy, I'm exercising, I'm go in the morning. At nighttime, I am not go. I am calm. I'm taking breaths at night. I'm calming my sympathetic nervous system to move into a parasympathetic nervous system mode. I'm doing everything that my body is able to produce its own melatonin at night, removing the light, removing the food, removing the stresses, removing things that are activating my cortisol levels. I need to be calm at nighttime to assist my melatonin. why would I take something? Why would I take melatonin if I know I can produce it naturally myself and I'm not putting those things into place to activate it naturally myself? Right. The other thing that I would include such things as passion flower and chamomile tea. I would look at light first thing in the morning to activate my cortisol. I'll make sure my hormones are on point. I'll get some blood test work done if necessary, such as my cortisol level and other hormones that may be related to it. So these are some of the things that I would put into place, right? So I hope I shed some light to this question, or any listeners who may have this issue. And you who have written are not the only one. A lot of us are suffering from sleeping issues, and it may just be a melatonin issue, but there are so many things that we can do to set our circadian rhythm on point, so we are able to sleep better. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at mahela.raguse on Instagram, and I will be in touch with you and hopefully be able to answer your question on the Natural Health Podcast. Remember, you are not alone to your journey to optimal health. I'm here to assist you so your journey is a pleasant one. Until next Wednesday, love you.